But the other guy, he put me in equipment. I asked thousands of questions. He answered thousands of questions for me, and that kind of motivated me. He showed me everything that he knew, and that kind of just gave me a lot of confidence starting out that I could do it. And today, as I've learned as much, like with this networking event we doing tonight, I just try to share everything with anybody that I know about business that I've learned, and I'm still learning. Every day. Actually, I want to learn from some of the guys in this group that's been in it, and stay asking questions. I stay calling on other guys or just other people and listening. So that was kind of my mentor. He actually has a concrete company, and we do a lot of business together now, and I still follow his footsteps. And he calls me now for help, and I call him.
It's amazing. And that brings me, I remember, Hiroshio, your story. You said, I think you kind of started with a friend and you had someone influence you as well. If you could touch a little bit on that, how you started, how you got into your industry.
Yeah, I got in my industry about 2002. So I went to school for it in Jefferson Technical College. And that's where I met my, man, he's a lifetime friend now. That's where I met him at Jeff Tech. I mean, like he was saying, there's not too many minorities in the trade, any trades nowadays.
Right.
Business owners. But I mean, to this day now, just basically contacting people, getting, connected, networking with people. Like a couple of guys, I don't remember a guy, Lancaster, but I worked up at Shepherd Square. And I met a few guys that I still deal with today, like dealing with plumbing, Like when I go to a job site most time, I ask them for you got a card, man? Let's swap out cards, Because I don't know when I keep a stack of cards in my
right.
Some people might take them cards and throw them away. I keep a stack of cards that I collected from different trades and everything in my truck all the time. I don't know who may need it. I might bump into a lady and say, hey, somebody know how to do such and such, so-and-so. I'm like, yeah, oh, here you go. Just call him.
The network effect.
Yeah, and I'm not asking for nobody to say, hey, man, you need to skim some off the top, man. Give me some skin in the game because it did it. No, I really just pass along, good business ethics. They may go on and say, hey, yo, I got it from most time nobody I pronounce my name right, but they be like, I got it from Ratio.
Can you say it for us one time?
Hiroshio.
Okay, Hiroshio. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been a lot
of people call me Monty. So
okay. Hiroshio. My bad.
I get it from that guy, the guy with the penguin on the side of his truck. I talked to this guy. Wow. So I always keep trying to network. I mean, I see guys in the supply houses, I acknowledge them, man, because you don't know when you may need somebody. That's the problem. Like you come into a situation like networking events like this, I feel like they work if you use it properly, I mean, if you use it, you might not need this guy right now. You might not need this guy. What about your auntie, uncles, friends, family, anything like that? They might have a bad run-in with somebody else. And now someone like, hey, won't you give this guy a call right now? He might be able to help you better than anybody else, give this guy a call. He might be able to paint your career. Somebody try and give you some bogus number or somebody ran off or something like that. All I'm trying to do is do good business,
Right. That's powerful. And to go to you, Mr. Miller, I really like your story because it's kind of similar to ours. It started with a family business, and that's how you kind of got your foot in the door. If you want to touch on that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm from a long generation of painters. First of all, I like to say congratulations to all you brothers on this movement right here. I don't know you personally, Kendrick, but I've been in contact with Hiroshio.
Yeah.
But actually, I was painting a house today, and a client was telling me that Kendrick, you did his carpet out there at off of Eastwood. So your name's ringing too. And I appreciate Jim Reynolds for the opportunity. But I'm from a long line of painters, paint company called Jennings Paint Company. My uncle's been in the game for about 40, 50 years now. So all the Kroger, Circle K's, YMCA's, pretty much most of the production painting going on around Louisville, 60% of it has a little bit to do with our family. So I've been doing homes now for about 4 years, branching out on my own, getting away from the commercial stuff that my uncle does. I like dealing with owners a little bit better. You know, the commercial world is a little hectic for, you know, you got to be built for that to be a black man out here like that.
Yeah. And that's a good point.
But
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to bring up the point. I liked how you said commercial versus residential. I know Kendrick and Hiroshio are they both kind of deal with both. So I wanted to know you all's thoughts on which one you prefer. How do you decide which one to go to, and kind of those things. And y'all can all just kind of chime in whenever needed. But I'll start with you if you'd like, Mr. Miller.
I'm about 80% residential right now. I do a little 20% commercial. For me, I like dealing with it. I like a little better personal relationship with the client. You know, you do a good job, like Hiroshio said. They turn you on to the cousin, the auntie. You know, I didn't paint at the sister's house. You know, I'm in the family now. You know, they cooking me dinner. You know, I like it a little bit more personal. But you know, commercial side, they say it's more money on that side. But my expertise on it, you know, it's a little bit harder for a black man on the commercial side, you know, because you got to deal with politics. There's a lot of politics, you know. So it's just the good thing about owning the business is you can do your preference. You know, you got to play your game and what works for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you're fit.
Yeah, I got a house I'm flipping now. I need painted. I'm glad.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Who you know do it better?
I need to get your info.
I'm gonna say for me, probably it's the same as in residential. I do probably about 90% residential. I guess builders. I work for a lot of builders, so it's a lot of residential homes that I do. But commercial, I haven't tapped into. But as like he said, I did like dealing with homeowners. Really, money wise was why I stayed with homeowners in the beginning, starting out, was to just get that deposit up front. I know a lot of commercial, you have to carry the load until net 30 or whatever that may be. And really, this year my goal is to get into commercial because, like he said, it is more money in commercial, and I feel like it could take me to the next level. And I think I've built up enough equipment or I say knowledge to where I could tackle some commercial projects, and also just some other friends that I do business with. If I didn't know, I could team up with them and take on a bigger project that does call for commercial. Or if I don't know the rules or the codes, it'll be a phone call that I can make and get knowledge that I need to.
Absolutely. How about you, Mr. Sherrel?
Commercial, no. I mean, that's why I walked away from when I started my own company. I walked away from commercial. And it takes a crew, especially, it takes a crew to set units doing commercial. I mean, I'm only a one-man crew. I hired a few guys. I just can't keep workers, man. I just can't keep workers. That's one thing. And dealing with commercial, man, you got to have a team. You got to have a team that's ready to bust it out. I mean, I'll pay you, but you got to be ready to work.
Right.
And commercial, man. I mean, and then like he was saying, man, holding that cash for long periods of time, stretching it out. Man, you gotta have a deep wallet, man. You gotta have a deep wallet. Some people like, hey, why don't you go and get into commercial, man? Once you bid on this job, I said, okay, if I get to win and bid, then I'm gonna fund this job. And where am I gonna get the crew at? You know what I mean? So I'm probably gonna stick with residential though.
Okay. And that, I mean, it makes sense. So go ahead, Sam. You're on mute.
There we go. I was playing with that button. My name is Sam Ellis, and with Jim Reynolds Asphalt. Appreciate you guys' comment. I just want to mention something because I've been in the business for 30 years. So no, I've been saying 30, but it's actually 40 years, a long time. And so I've been able to grow, scale, start off with residential. And of course, we do commercial now. Amazing amount of commercial last year in this asphalt business. But before that, I owned a business, a parking lot sweeping business, and we did a lot of commercial. One of the things that allowed me to do commercial is that I build relationship with my customers, and so I never had problem with cash flow because people do business with people they like and they trust. So if a customer likes and trusts you, you can go to them and say, "Hey, I need 50% up front." So if a customer gives you 50% up front, you have enough money to take care of that job. That 50% would take care of your supplies, your employees, and then the rest is profit. But the 50% will take care of most of the things that you need to get that job done. And so don't be afraid to ask for the amount. We've been doing 50% in this asphalt business since 2011, and nobody's told us no. Maybe one person. One person said, "Can we do 30%?" And I said, "No." Because listen, think about it this way. Listen to this, guys. When you go out and buy paint and you're putting paint in somebody's house, you don't paint the whole house, you don't upgrade their house before you even get some money. That don't even make any sense to me. How can you put all your money in somebody's house before you get anything? So it don't even make sense to ask for a percentage up front. It's going on their house, it's going in their building. So, it's just something I want to share. Now, when you get into government work, that's a whole different ball game, and we're not even talking about that yet because that's another level. But when you're dealing with private companies, they don't have no problem giving you money up front. And you got to check your industry. Some industry is 30%. We get 50%. I'm just letting you know, we get 50% up front.
Thank you for that insight. That's powerful. So, and going back to kind of the residential versus commercial, I was wondering, since you all mainly focus on residential and maybe haven't gotten commercial yet, how do you all go about forming those relationships? How do you all go about marketing to attract those customers?
I actually went about it, and actually I seen Chelsea at an event. It's called Blue Book Network. I've been going to some networking events with them, like the next GCs with subcontractors, and I just been going to pass out cards and talk with a few GCs, and also sometimes I'll pull up on a job site if I see somebody I'm familiar with, or I ask for a GC, talk to who's running the project. Like I said, I started out, I'm mainly residential and just working for builders and homeowners, but I'm be honest, like he said earlier, I jumped out, give a card or pass a card on.
Wow.
6-8 months later, they may call me randomly like, "Can you do this? Or can you do that?" So that's how I tackled it, trying to get my foot in. I actually told them at the event, I want to start small because I'm coming from residential, and just to keep my overhead down, I wanted to just focus on just smaller projects, like these new coffee shops they putting up, scooters, small Taco Bells they putting up, and even with that, I do concrete work, but I also do grading and landscaping work. So on the commercial side, I don't really advertise the concrete work because, of course, that's a lot more overhead that I would need to put up. The grading and siding, landscaping, I can handle, and I can carry myself on that. So that's what I try to promote to the commercial side.
Right. Do you do anything different, Jay?
Well, me personally, I use a lot of the internet. You know, I get 60% of business from the internet. You know,
Wow.
Facebook alone is a powerful tool. It's as big as you want to take it. You know, you in everybody's pocket. You got a free commercial in everybody's pocket at any time of the day. You know, that's one of the greatest tools. And word of mouth carries you far. As long as you out here doing good business and people like you and they can trust you, like Mr. Sam said, then they're gonna spread your name as far as it can go. You know, it's so much work out here. I do a lot of business with realtors. I got a lot of realtor friends, so you know, I know who's buying the homes, you know, months ahead of time, you know. So you know, I got a little cheat sheet.
I like how y'all both touched on the part of the importance of relationships. And I really like the part you said commercial in your pocket. I've never heard of that before. How about you, Mr. Sherrel?
What was the question? What? How to advertise?
Yeah, how did you kind of start with marketing and getting your name out?
I went and got my truck. I just went and got my truck wrapped. You know, logo. Try to get some bright colors. I mean, I got 2 trucks now, but the other truck I got, you know, I went on full wrapped it. Other than that, man, just advertise, word of mouth, try to do good business. That's it.
Yeah. And you got something, David, for us? You got to unmute. You got to unmute yourself.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm at a place that a lot of you men have been at before. I'm the token at this meeting. I'm the token white at this meeting. But I have encouraging words for Mr. Lancaster. I've been in the building trade the last little bit of my life and have just finished 2 fairly large projects. And I would encourage you to look at the commercial. And there's a lot of things, you know, the black businessman has been held back. Y'all know I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but I think those times are changing where a lot of the projects now are slanted, you know, to try to make up for those times that you've been shorted and, you know, you've had to fight an extra battle. If you'll go to somebody, if you'll watch the Dodge reports and things like that, and pick the projects you want to say, you know, say, now this one I can handle. You'll get a reputation that you can expand. A lot of these projects, they need minorities. They get points. They get extra points on tax credits. But if it don't, you know, your race has been held against you for a long time. Use it for your advantage now. And I would encourage you. And the other thing I would encourage you about is that, Mr. Lancaster, you're a young entrepreneur. You've got the same personality Mr. Garmon has. You know, you're outgoing. You will make friends. I don't care what the race is. You're going to make friends if you're open and honest and ongoing like you are tonight. So I would encourage you to look at the commercial end of it. And the other thing I want to encourage you about is I know projects that I'm working on here, and I'm in southern Kentucky, basically, you know, the Bowling Green area. But we're hurting for tradesmen, all of them, but especially concrete. We are really hurting. The average now, if you're scheduling a contract, you'll wait at least 6 months for a concrete person. I mean, there's really a need on it. And so be bold, go out there, realize that the contractors, you know, are hurting. They're trying to schedule stuff in and work with them on their scheduling. And the other thing, Mr. Lancaster, I'd encourage you to get to know your architects. Architects throw a lot of business. I met with an architect today. I had a long meeting with him on 2 days ago, but he was telling me about you know, who he would bring in for these different projects. Right now, he's out of Bowling Green, but right now he's working on 30 big major contracts. All of them are $1 million or more, and he's having trouble finding the contractors. So be bold, go looking for it. I'd like to encourage you all, but you especially, Mr. Lancaster. You're aggressive. Go for it and think outside the box. Go to those commercial builders that you know are building and say, I'm trying to get my foot in the door. Can you help me get started in the commercial end? And I think you'll find now more than ever before, you're going to find more corporates that are willing to do that. So just be brave. Go out there and you're very impressive. All of you men are. I mean, you've made successes of your businesses, but you can't make a success, right, Mr. Garmon? It's not money. What are we working for? Success.
I'm on mute, but success. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
When Mr. Garmon first came to me, he said something, I want to be rich. And I said, no, you don't. He said, yes, I do. And I said, no, you want to be successful. And the money will come with the success. But you've got to build your business, and it's not to be rich, it's to be successful.
Right.
I'll hush. It's you gentlemen, y'all know more than I do what you're talking about.
And I like one of the things you said, David, about how many opportunities there are now, more than there's ever been before. I was talking to the director of the housing authority, Abraham, and he said, and I told Dad this as well. He said, there's never been more money. He's never seen this much money provided to help minorities. And federally, they're giving so many grants, so many small business things to help accelerate, especially in construction. And like you said, there's a huge need for it. We're at the National Expo convention, and we can tell you there's a huge need for it. There weren't many. There's probably like 6. Probably I could count it on my fingers. So go ahead, David.
I was going to continue on what you're saying. Mr. Ellis is a prime example of what I was going to suggest to all of you. We all need to get a mindset that what are we going to do to help our young minorities start businesses? And the timing is right for it, and we don't need to be a stumbling block. You should reach out to the young people that want to go into businesses of their own, because you're their models, you're their examples. So give back to your community. I know you do. Mr. Ellis, it's pretty obvious that he is. But I don't know you other gentlemen, but it's a circle, y'all. It's a circle.
So to go off that, I would like to, I know we talked about kind of the struggles with having people, getting people with marketing. What would you all say are some of just common struggles you found within your business starting? And I guess we could start with you, Mr. Miller.
Can you hear me? Some of
Yes,
the
sir.
common struggles is basically finding workers, man. That's a hard job within itself. You get people who with personal problems. You gotta weed through it. You gotta weed through 100 men to find 1 or 2. And that takes time. And you just gotta be patient with people. I figure me finding my best workers have been within my family, since that's how I got it. So I got a lot of workers within my family. So I think that's one of the hardest jobs, finding workers, because you can't do it all, especially when you in these bigger homes.
I would say 2 things that's been a challenge for me is really it is employees on day-to-day, since I do concrete, day-to-day mentally ready employees. I can find guys, or guys DM me every day asking for a job. I want to show up, but the way I work and the way I try to run my business, I need dudes that's really mentally, like he said, they got personal problems, but can still show up and make decisions. And really, I don't ask people to do something I wouldn't do, but really put the business first as much as possible. is one thing, mentally ready employees. And then my other struggle has been just the paperwork and work. I love being in the field. So I'm going to work sun up to sundown, and then I get in late. I'm trying to do paperwork, send out invoices, collect checks. I actually had a builder today call me like, do you want your money? And I laughed because I know in the beginning I would have chased that money down before I even finished, really. But that's been kind of my other struggle, just having the right mental employees. And another thing with concrete is why I really stick to concrete is I have the friends, and I know tonight it is about race, but I do have Mexicans that show up to pour concrete. So that's really locked me in to stick with the concrete, because anytime I need to pour concrete, they show up and they there. But it's been from the day to day, just from demo, framing, and grading work, just having guys that really want to work and learn and grow in a small business that haven't been mentally ready for that. And they just balancing the paperwork with working. It's on mute.
Thank you. I was saying, I've realized even here at the expo, that's like a problem that I feel like is really consistent. Like the paperwork side, the numbers side, and hiring. Would you say it's like, Mr. Sherrel, would you say it's consistent as well in like the HVAC industry with your company as well?
Yeah. I mean, most of the guys, man, I can find a worker, but it's just like they said, mentally ready, the ones with the work ethics, because some of these guys, man, they won't, well, I can learn from you a little bit, man, work with you for about a month. I can be as better as you. No, you can't, man.
Yeah.
It's took years, man. And I ain't in the competition, man. Just like, like Mr. Davis said, man, you're not trying to do this stuff to be rich, man. You're doing it for success.
Right.
You work hard, man. You try to work hard, man, to get something done, the job done. Like, I don't have no push clock, man, no punch clock, come 5 o'clock and I'm putting somebody's AC or furnace in, or put an AC in, and it's 90-some degrees out there. 5 o'clock, oh, well, I got to punch my clock. I got to go home. No, man, I finished till the job's done. And then it gets too dark or something like it. It has to be something, something went wrong totally that I say, hey, I got to come back tomorrow or something like that. But other than that, man, we're going to finish this job. Because basically what these people are buying is comfort. You buy heating and air for comfort. You buy, stove if you want heat. Oh, you got other alternatives. You can run space heaters, You can run a firewood stove or something like that. Same way in the summertime, you can run fans everywhere. You have 90 fans in your house, but people buy comfort. That's what kind of business we into. Comfort.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to be real comfortable, I think they're going to pay a nice price for it. So,
right, as they should.
Yeah, and I think I should give them a quality job. Once I give them a quality job, somebody's going to pass it along. Like, this guy did a dang on good job. I wasn't doing it for the money. I was doing it for the right reasons and getting my name out there. They do quality work. So, man, I think a lot of his marketing come to people. All of us right here, I say Jay, Lancaster, it's all about, man, we like-minded people. We do this, sun up, sun down. Ain't no slouches here, And I think that's been the only way that I've been really surviving, even though COVID's been hitting and everything else. I think it's how I really survive. I mean, I'm gonna get off my butt every day, every morning, and chase it. Even if I just ride around, that's marketing right there. My truck's logo got my number on there.
Right, very cool logo, I must add.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Chelsea.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of share some things that I've been learning and some thought process that I've been having in regards to, the struggle with the employee shortage. And one thing that's helped my thought process is changing is the fact that, the world is changing now to where, employees, people don't really want to be employees anymore. They kind of more so want to be partners. They want to learn. They want to be, doing things to where they can be a business owner as well, maybe possibly. So a lot of times we may have to reword what we're saying and or recreate these positions for people to fit today's world. Like, for example, thought process of, may be hard to find a lot of estimators, but what if we found one person and we all taught them how to estimate, to do concrete, to do asphalt, to maybe even estimate painting, to where we're all paying for this one employee that's an expert in doing estimates. So we can do things like that, or even use like apps or systems that are in place to where we go more digital, to where we don't have to have those employees in certain places. So that's one thing that I've been learning and been trying to think outside of the box. Because a lot of times, we sit and we say, hey, it's an employee shortage, but it just may be a change of, environment, a change of the economy, a change of thought process, to where people right now, they don't want to be the employee. They want to be more. They're feeling like, I've been an employee this long. My father was an employee, and they didn't get anywhere with that. They didn't succeed. They weren't able to grow to be an employee. So they're thinking, what else can I do? So I feel like we just have to position that in a way to where they understand, and to where they feel like, okay, this is something I want to be a part of.
Right. Go ahead, Mr. Lancaster.
To go along with Chelsea, I got a phone call the other day, and a guy was calling me about business, and I kind of told him in the direction earlier about minorities being needed. I know that, and all of you all know that, but I told him you could actually solve a problem with me is you and your wife start a LLC, she become 51%, and just make it as a woman minority owned business, and you just kind of GC it. I'll work up under you. Since I like working, I don't really like doing all of the paperwork side. I'll teach you what I know, and then you take some classes and learn the paperwork side and get us indoors. And then I just really stay on equipment, stay in the field, and then send in all my reports to you, and then you handle the rest, going to those type of meetings or sending in those invoices or meeting with those GCs. And that would solve that problem. And also, like she said, about people don't want to be employees now because they see that businesses can be started so easy. But I actually uplift dudes to actually do that. Well, we can sub together, we can team up together, and then some of them will learn that they can't do it, or some of them can, and it's just more. A guy told me one time, he said, I'm basically teaching my competition, but if you outgrow me, that means I wasn't working hard enough. And so that kind of gave me the motivation to teach anybody around me, really.
That's a great outlook, because I feel like that's what's needed, especially with minorities and contractors. We got to teach other people's how are we going to build the industry if we're not putting younger people on. And I know I'll go ahead to you, Dad.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to add to that a little bit. I remember hearing you guys talk about employees and the problems that they have and they bring to work with them, and the reason why they probably don't show up or that you can't keep them because people are having a lot of problems in their life. And so when we know that people are having problems in their life, then we have to structure our business around that, And so what we've learned is that it's the mindset of people. And so if we have to have mindset training, when they come into our business, then we're going to focus on changing their mind, getting them to think positive, getting them to think that they're winners, that they can do it, that they can deal with the problem that they're facing in their life. We know that ahead of time, that issue. We hear that, and even here in this convention, the biggest problem that people are having is employees. We don't feel like we have that problem. We don't have that problem. So when we hear people say that, we're like, wow, And reason why is because we're focusing on we helping people become better people. When they come into Jim Reynolds Asphalt, we want them to leave out of here as better people. Maybe eventually they might become a contractor, or they might be not. But we want them to be better people when they leave. And most people, when they treat it that way, they come back. They come back the next year. Why do they come back? because they like the atmosphere that we provide for them. So it's just something to think about.
I think that's important because I noticed we have put a lot of personal development into the training we do with our employees and like how we go about our meetings. We always emphasize entrepreneurship and personal development, which I think may have a big effect in retention as well. You go ahead, David.
I think Mr. Sam and Mr. Lancaster and Chelsea all are hit the nail on the head. I was so proud to hear Mr. Lancaster talk about what he had done for the other, because that's what my passion has been, is that I want to see young people, entrepreneurs, make a success of it. That's what this country was built on. It's on the entrepreneur and the people with new ideas and all. And Mr. Lancaster on the concrete, when you train somebody and you worry about, well, they may go out and be my competition. If it's good for our business, it's good for us. We don't have to be protective of our business. If we do like Mr. Sam says, and we treat our employees like they're part of our business family. My dad worked for a pet milk company all his life. He retired from pet milk company. They took care of him. He took care of the company. You don't have that anymore. You don't have that loyalty unless you've got a business like Mr. Sam, that they have loyalty to their employees. If we set the example for that, especially in minority fields, who can I trust? I can trust my work family. They know where I've been. They know what my life's been like. I trust them. And then they're going to give back and give you the type of job you want because they believe in you. So I think all three of you all are just really hit the nail on the head.
You have something else, Mr. Lancaster? No.
Not that was on accident.
Okay, I saw your hand raised. Well, I remember Mr. Sherrel, when we were talking earlier, you were saying how you started off with a friend, which is kind of relates to this perfectly, because I remember you saying that there wasn't much competition with you all. He did his own thing, you did your thing, even though y'all started together, and you even give him bids and things like that. Could you touch on like relation building in the same kind of field and how that's worked for you?
Yeah, I mean, even to the guys that I have worked with and my buddy, it really ain't no competition with us, man. It's enough money out there for everybody. And it's so many, I mean, dealing with heat and air, it's so many different criteria of it. You may have somebody in commercial, you have somebody in refrigeration, you might have somebody with, water chill towers, boilers, oil furnaces, geothermal. I mean, a lot of it's no competition. Even to the guys that I do have, I encourage them. I'm like, man, look, only way, even to the guys I have had help me before, and I tell them, man, only way, man, you're going to be able to appreciate anything, man, is start taking that money that I give you out of my pocket, is buy yourself some tools, your own tools. Because you're not going to take your craft serious if you're using somebody else's tools. If it's yours, I'm giving them tools. Something I have 2s and 3s of, and like, here go a little bag, man. Get yourself started with it. I mean, take what I know and just learn from it. And I'm not saying I'm the best teacher, nothing like that. But just take what I know and learn from it. And man, you can keep taking this, and eventually it might go somewhere else. You fix your own stuff at home instead of asking me come over. I don't know. I mean, truthfully, man, like, but then like you was talking about my buddy, like right now we'll team up on a project right now. Maybe something get kind of big for him. A couple rooftop units we did last year. We did a couple rooftop units on a church. We dropped them on the roof. He calls on me, tell me a couple days ahead of time, hey, I'm gonna have this job, man. Can you cast the units down on the roof? Get the boom truck out there, man. Give them all the signals. That's all you get to do. Okay, all right. Pay me for my time. I mean, but you just don't get no organic relationship like me and him, how we met. You know what I mean? We met in school. We met in school 2002 at Jefferson Tech. He was the only black kid in that class. I was like, shit, that's the class I need to be in then. I don't want to be no plumber. I'm scared of electricity, really. So I said, man, I chose heating and air. I didn't know too much about it. I worked for a few companies, man. You name it, I probably worked for them. Brian Heating and Cooling, J&J Mechanical. Heck, man. We built Brown Cancer Building. When I worked down there at Shepherd Square, I worked for Care Heating and Cooling. We built half of Shepherd Square. Man, I worked for Jarbo's. I worked for Jarbo's before. I worked for a couple of refrigeration companies too that you probably never heard of. They probably like couple of biggest companies in the United States. CMS Mechanical. We did all the Dollar Generals, Family Dollars. So like when you saying about commercial, I've done walk-in coolers, freezers, man. And I used to sometime, man, leave from the house, no lie. I wake up at 5:30, leave from the house. I wouldn't get back home, man. Shit, it'd be 7 o'clock at night. And I've been going to Dollar Generals all in in Kentucky alone. Like one time I put like 5,000 miles on a truck in a week. And I never left Kentucky.
Dang.
In a week. That's what I'm saying. Like this, put like this, heating and air field. And I say y'all trades is the same, man. Everybody, it's so many different ways in that trade. You know, it's different levels in that trade. Like you get commercial, you get residential, you could be pouring, you could be painting, painting pools and pouring concrete for pools. There's so many different aspects of the game, man. And I just figured that one person, even if you do have a know-how, one person, if you hire somebody, if they're quick to like kind of dismiss themselves and not have a good work ethic, like Mr. David was saying, the success part, man. You want to be successful. You want to keep on doing. You don't want to just stop, drop, and roll when something get real hard and say, hey, I guess I'm going to go switch over to something else.
I like that. So I know we only have about 10 minutes left. Then we'll do a little questions at the end. I like that advice that you had, and it seems like it's advice for somebody just entering the industry. What would be, I would like before we end to get one small piece of advice from each three of you regarding your specific industry for someone that is just trying to break in or just trying to start. You can give like one piece of advice.
Man, surround yourself with like-minded people, and show enthusiasm, encourage, and man, show up on time. Sometimes show up before the boss. Man, you show up before the boss, man. I guarantee you're gonna get a different look. You show up before him. If I had that advice back then, man, if I show up before the boss, man, I was always a guy, man. Damn near shit. I'm supposed to be here at 8. I'm here at 8:05. I had to learn the hard way. A couple times I get fired for that. So, you show up before the boss, man, I think you might get a better look at something.
Right.
Me personally, I always say, do what you say you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Be where you say you're gonna be. That's my advice for someone getting started, because your word and that's all you got in this business. Once your word is damaged and the trust is gone, then it's gone. It's hard to get it back, So to a person just getting started, you need to do what you say you're gonna do and be where you're supposed to be. Ain't no babysitters out here.
I was just checking, Jay. I already got a quote from you.
My thing will probably be starting out, which actually helped me because I learned a lot of stuff as I went. But it was my work ethic. I kind of impressed people with always willing to work, and they kind of pulled to me, wanted to work with me more because I never wanted to stop really. So I would say definitely having a work ethic, because some of these guys, you probably know, they have the know-how, but they don't really want to go hard in the beginning to build that structure and foundation and that sacrifice.
I like that. Do what you say you're gonna do. Strong work ethic. Surround yourself by great like-minded people. That's good. I like it. And what you got for us, Davis? David, sorry, I didn't see it. You're on mute.
It's all right. I was just going to, and I can't pronounce your first name, so I hope I pronounced your last name right. Mr. Sherrel. Is that right, Sherrel? I was going to make a comment on something he said. He said, I may not be the best teacher, but I'm going to assert that you are. You are the best teacher because you've lived it. You know, who better to learn from? And I think we owe it to the next generation, you know, that we do it the right way. And I think you're a model of that. I think all of you gentlemen are models of that. And then going back what y'all were saying about this partnership and everything, it's what I was talking about when I was talking about the architects. I am basically a developer. You know, I couldn't do what you guys are doing if I had to, but I know how to put a team together. And when I'm looking for a contractor, I'm going to look at somebody that has been in my office, knows my program and everything. And so that's part of that networking. I can't speak enough volume. Don't wait for the customer to come to you. Go to the customer, especially in the commercial fields.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Is there any more questions? Well, for the last thing, and first, I just want to thank you all for coming here, spending this time with us. Thank you three for. Sorry. Go ahead, Miss Figgins.
Yes, I was wondering if there's a way we can get people's contact information as because I think there's some customers on here that are on the call.
Mm-hmm.
People that need, I don't know if this was the purpose of the call, but I said in the listen to kind of give me a good idea of explaining a lot of things that's been going on with the projects I wanted to get done around my house, so it makes sense now. But if I guess on the advertisement got in on Facebook, if people can put like their contact information for future follow-up, that would be helpful for me.
And that's something I wanted to do real quick. I wanted if each of you all want to give a shout out, tell us where the audience can find you, your website, social media, we can go ahead and do that real quick if you'd like.
I don't have a pen.
And I think it'll also, we can put another a link on the Facebook as well. On Facebook as well.
I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook is Kendrick Lancaster or Redwood Enterprise. I'm be honest, I don't do a lot on Facebook. Mainly is just calling me with but my number is on my Redwood Enterprise LLC Facebook. And then I think I have a Redwood Enterprise LLC Instagram as well. But my phone number is 502-819-1589, and I put it in the comments.
Can you hear me? You can find me on Facebook. I'm Jay Uno on Facebook. My phone number is 502-552-5689. I'm not hard to find. Y'all reach out.
My name is Hiroshio Sherrel on Facebook, and you can reach me at 502-777-3129.
You're on mute, Kahlil.
Thank you, man. I don't know how to use Google Meet if y'all. I'm a Zoom guy, but but I wanted to thank you all for taking this time with us tonight. Thank you all for educating us. David, everybody for coming. Sam, thank you all for participating. If you all want to find more about these events we do, you can find us at JimReynoldsAsphalt.com and on Facebook. We'll be doing another one next month for Women's History Month, and we'll be having a panel of women in contracting businesses, to where we can kind of get their insights and do the same sort of thing. So I just want to say it's an honor to be with you all, fellow entrepreneurs, like-minded people. It's an honor to learn from you all, and just want to thank you all for tonight, and hope to see you again. Thank you.
You did a heck of a job, young man. You did a heck of a job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.